Let me make sure all my audio is good for this live stream tonight, you guys. I want to make sure everything is the pip with. I want to just make sure all my audio is good on YouTube. You always know I gotta run another joint just to make sure I see all the updated comments. What is good, everybody? We got a hell of a topic for y'all tonight. And I've got all the lyrics. I'm going to do an official breakdown. Jim Jones unintentionally sparked a beef with Pusha T, who is known for putting rappers' careers on the shelf, y'all. Pusha T has actually responded with another brutal diss, and he's actually bringing up some audio. Cameron called this out. He's actually bringing up some audio, you guys, of Cameron speaking about an emotional state that Jim Jones was in. We all know, you guys have probably seen it, Love and Hip Hop with Jim Jones. But we're going to talk about it all tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this video. This is Mikey T, the movie star. I'm back with another exclusive, you guys. Jim Jones unintentionally sparked a beef with Pusha T. Pusha T, the rapper who's known for putting artists to sleep. And we're going to talk about the brutal response from Jim Jones tonight, or from Pusha T tonight, excuse me. Pusha T had quite a bit to say. On the leaked audio, he had Cameron basically saying he goes on Twitter. That's the way he is. He's an emotional guy. Cameron continued on this audio that was pretty much the outro of Pusha T's new record. He was saying he's crying on these shits. He's been crying because he's emotional. I'm not saying his tears are fake. When you get a chance, go on Love and Hip Hop. He's sitting in front of his mother's house crying. Cameron said, I want my wife to get along with my mother, but I'm not gonna cry. This is what Cameron had to say. And you know, we all know Cameron from his very public relationship. Cameron, you had Juju. And look at you now, Cam. That girl Juju was the best girl that you ever had, Cam. Am I lying? That was the best shit that ever happened to Cam. Am I lying? Who did he replace her with? I didn't hear nobody say that, though. I didn't hear nobody here talk about her replacement. Certain people have that it factor. Everyone knows that they made a good couple. It was like, don't be an idiot, just stay together. Now, I'm going to address this because this is one of the major parts of this diss track. Cameron called this out. He knew that his name would be used in the diss. And I just want to say, the thing is, Jim Jones doesn't look like a fool here. Somebody tell me how. In your minds, how does Jim Jones look like a fool in this situation? So Jim Jones was in front of his mother's house crying over his wifey. That's your right-hand man. That's Cameron's right-hand man. If you were sitting in front of your mom's house crying over Juju, I don't think Jim Jones would make a big announcement about it. As a matter of fact, I don't recall one time when he ever threw any dirt on Cameron. Not once. Not one radio interview has he ever threw dirt on Cameron's name. So honestly, what is up with that? And not only, man, and thanks for the tip. We saw, the whole world saw it, by the way. The whole world saw it, by the way, Pusha. What I'm saying is, though, if you care about somebody, you don't give a shit about how you're perceived. You think Tupac cared about being perceived as weak because he wrote a Dear Mama track? Like, what are you thinking? Or do you think Tupac cared about how he was perceived because of the fact that he cried in a movie? Certain dudes don't care about being perceived as weak, and you know what I'm saying? There's just certain dudes who can look past that. So anyways, man, I just had to get on here and talk about this because this new diss track from Pusha T, where he's really coming at Jimmy hard. He's really trying to, for lack of a better term, he's trying to super violate Jim Jones here. And we're going to get into all the other Nicky Barnes comments. We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into all that tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you share this video one time. Let me know how y'all feeling. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Hit that like button. Subscribe one time if you're not already. You know what I'm saying? There's dudes out there that wife strippers. There's dudes out there who are wife and porn stars. Look at Adam 22. You know what I mean? They're proud of their wives that are porn stars. Not just Adam 22, but Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs, he said it like it was the coolest thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, you guys. If you're not willing to cry over wifey, then who the fuck are you really with, just to be real? Here's another reason that guys are so full of shit. And this is a guy thing strictly because girls don't do it. Guys are so full of shit because they could be in a 10-year relationship and their girl will break up with them and they'll just walk around fronting like it doesn't bother them. Walking around like, never mind that chick. What do you mean, dog? You've been with Rachel for like 10 years. Then it's like, I know you're hurting inside, but because of the fact that you hid the fact that you cried, it's like, we know you cried by yourself. So what does it matter if you cry in public? Is it the fact that the other people are going to see you? Oh, I can't be seen crying in public. This is what Killa Cameron can't comprehend. The fact that Killa Cameron is an alter ego. Cam, you're actually a pretty nice guy. But I'm not targeting Cam here. It's a lot of rappers that are concerned with being overly tough. That's what I was breaking down right there, you guys. Cameron said it himself. Him and Jim were always cool the whole entire time. They weren't just doing business together. I mean, Dipset technically broke up. That's the point in time when they weren't doing business together. They were always cool, though. That's what the public fails to realize. So let's get into this diss. I'm going to dissect the whole thing. I'm going to go into the Jim Jones diss. I'm going to go into Pusha T's initial diss. But this is the most recent joint that I'm getting into right now. And I need y'all to share this joint right now for me. Or just hit the like button, man. I appreciate everybody being tapped in. Let me see real quick. Just make sure everything's good on my end. Customize. Hit that like button, y'all. Support the channel. Got a dope live video for you guys tonight if y'all ain't already seeing. Okay, what's going on with this real quick? Okay, here we go. Excuse me, y'all. Just had to do something real quick with the video audio. And we are good. We are good and we're back. So Pusha T said, this shit here is an easy kill. 40 plus twisting their fingers still. Duck the Rico, we know that you squealed. FBI agent with a damn record deal. Red flag waving, banging boy chill. Jimmy hiding something, he got his record sealed. 6ix9ine isn't the only one working the field. We heard them phone taps, you Nicky Barnes for real. Stick to reality TV before I become your new damn Mendici. You got drip, but your cornrows stay peasy. You hated on French and did Max be greasy. Free the wave. You ain't been hot since the ballin' days. So we're going to get into this, a lot of it. You got drip, but your cornrows stay peasy. You hated on French and did Max be greasy. Free the wave. You ain't been hot since the ballin' days. Now, do you guys remember what Jim Jones told Joe Budden? Do you remember that? Do you remember all of that about what he told Joe Budden? Go check that out if you missed that. But Cameron basically broke it. Cameron basically had audio leak where he was saying Jim is emotional. He will tell you he's emotional. He'll go on Twitter or he'll wait a day or two. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He's an emotional guy, Cameron is saying. But I just want to say right here with this one, man, Pusha T basically having that verse and then this Cameron audio, and Cameron having previously just come out and said, yo, don't try to use my old issues with Jim Jones in this. We've always really been cool. That right there made me say Pusha T lost this beef. You know what I mean? If this is all that he's got and this is all that he's coming with, Pusha T has lost this beef. So this is the official breaking news. Pusha T loses beef with Jim Jones. Jim Jones actually outdoes him. Jim Jones, believe it or not, has outdone Pusha T on some rapidy rap. Pusha T did, I'll admit, he picked a better beat. I'll admit Pusha T flowed better. But Jim Jones was ethering this man. Him and I, you know what I mean? I'm going to hit y'all with some of the keynotes. I'm going to highlight some stuff that I actually know stung Pusha T. Stung Pusha T. Some of the bars that Jim Jones said. But I don't have a horse in this race, you guys. I don't care who wins. It doesn't matter to me. But I'd just like to point out a couple things. You know, I'm just saying that verse right there, and you attach some Cameron audio, I got to imagine this was already recorded, and then that statement from Cameron came out. So Jones released a diss track. Jones had said in his diss track, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of disappointed. Listen, before you drop, let me give you some inspiration. Jim Jones actually then rapped, that shit was trash. We're going to let them get a do-over. They got you gassed. They must think you're the new Hova. I don't got no time to be concerned with no watch you got. You never been uptown buying that work by the poppy spot, trying to get a Lucy when you run up in the Aki spot. I buy 5,000 bottles, turned around and get a choppy chop. This is from Jim Jones's joint. Just look up Jim Jones disses Pusha T, and this record's going to come up. Pusha T didn't do it like that, y'all. And y'all, you know what? You can hate on Capo all you want, but there's something about the way that his bars actually hit. And you know what? The fact is, I actually believe him too. What did he say, you guys? You cop a Lucy at the Aki spot? That went over your heads. That shit went right over your heads. Extremely. You never been uptown buying that work by the poppy spot, trying to get a Lucy when you run up in the Aki spot. I buy 5,000 bottles. I turn around and get a choppy chop. Right. Pusha, you're not eating no chopped cheese sandwiches with 5,000 bottles behind you in the Aki spot. The way Jim does it, and it rhymes so smoothly, he's rapping his lifestyle because he's actually doing this. He's actually eating chopped cheese sandwiches with bottles of expensive ass alcohol. To y'all might say it's silly or he might be too old to do it. But I'm going to ask, who are you to say that? People are living their best life, man, doing what they want to do. Pusha T is kind of sounding like he's coming from that Hassan Campbell lane. You know what I mean? He kind of sounds like he's coming from the Hassan Campbell lane. You need to do this. You need to do that. And you should make conscious rap. Meanwhile, you're kind of trying to sound like Dipset yourself. You know what I mean? You're kind of trying to sound like Dipset yourself. I know you're from the BX. You're also from Virginia. You know, what other rappers from Virginia sound like Clips? You know what I mean? Just like no other rappers from New York sound like French Montana, because French Montana purposely didn't want to sound like a New York rapper. He wanted to get shine elsewhere. That's what I'm pointing out here, you guys. Grinding. That was your song, right? That was what you were singing on that song, Grinding. A lot of skateboarders thought that was a skateboarding song. That's skateboarding lingo. What are you grinding? Do you mean hustling? What are you grinding? So the thing with Pusha T is like Pusha T is like Nas. And this is the part of the debate where some of you will say, like, I'm going to side with the rapper that actually lives what he raps, that lives his bars, even though they might not be as intricate. It's the reason that people love Tupac, Enemies, and Hennessy. But you loved it because you believed him. It didn't have to be no intricate shit. The structure of the bars wasn't even proper. The structure of the bars wasn't even correct. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But to some people, it does matter. They will say some things like, yo, a guy like Pusha T is like Rick Ross. The clips? What do you mean? Clips of a firearm? You don't even look like a gang member. The different shit like that is going to come into play when we're talking about the everyday consumer. You're either going to buy the music based on the fact that you love the lyrics, or you're going to buy the music based on the fact that you love the artist that you're buying into. So another lyric that really caught me. Jim Jones said, "My name is my name, and you ain't scream it yet." Jim Jones is saying, Pusha T, you got a problem with me. You say my name. Why are you dissing me indirectly? That's what soft dudes do. I remember Tupac said F Biggie, F Mobb Deep. Rappers who were really about it would say names specifically. But Pusha T's not even saying the name. How does Jim Jones even know who he's dissing? Jim Jones is probably like, if he was dissing me, he would say my name. If he was dissing me, he would say my name. He wasn't talking about me. The last person that dissed Jim Jones was Max B. And you see how it ended up for him. Beefing with Jim Jones is not a good idea, because even if you win, even if you out-rap him, you're going to lose points in New York. So you lost anyways. And this is, you can hear Jimmy laughing. And this is really how you can tell that Jim Jones is just having fun with him. He's not going the extra route of banning him. It's not the extra route of banning him from New York City. He's not doing that. He's not actually taking those, gangster routes with this whole thing. He's not been like, yo, he's banned straight like that because I said so. You know, you can just tell that they're throwing jabs at each other. Capo's hits are connecting better though because again, it's more believable. Do you believe the lobby boys or do you believe grinding? You know what I keep in the lining? No, I don't know what you keep in the lining. What is it? What are you selling? What are you grinding? Please tell me what's in the lining. What are you gripped up? Till this day, that song is literally a mystery to me, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, just what in the hell was in the lining shall be the real question. What was he grinding and what was in the lining is what Jim Jones would like to know. If anybody in here can assist him, I'm sure they would like to know. At the very least, I would. So Jim Jones had said this. He said, the only beef you know is the Arby's of the Big Mac. We don't drive through. We drive by with the car with the Big Mac. The last shit you dropped was garbage. Take that shit back. Plus, you got your brother rapping. What you talking? What you trying to bring the clips back? Talking about your brother, what happened to that boy? Looks like they've been selling crack to that boy. Really thought enough, really though. Enough of the jokes. This is how you get embarrassed. Really got some money? I'll catch you out in Paris. So, speaking of which, Jim Jones is like, what happened to your brother? Jim Jones is like, I'm just wondering what happened to him. It's a serious question because everyone talks about Pusha T, but nobody seems to mention Malice. You know? It's like J Hood. What happened to that boy? It's a good question. Jim Jones said something about Malice that nobody wants to say out in public. Nobody wants to say shit in public. Jim Jones is like, what are you rapping for? Go get your brother in a better position. Jim Jones is like, what are you making raps about me for? Go help your brother. And another thing he said, talking about my jewels was a cheap shot. When these is all VVS's, they're not the cheap rocks. I don't know if you're a rapper. I should treat you like a street op. Nobody ever accused Jim Jones of wearing fake jewelry. And you know what I mean? That right there was just kind of desperate from Pusha T. You know what I mean? And then just like when he went and dug up the old shit of Cameron speaking on Jim Jones, it's not like he really exposed something groundbreaking. People are like, really? You ripped the audio from the interview and put it at the end of your song? This is not Drake diss level either, I just want to say. This is not Drake level dissing either, man. So, all right. Pusha T in this new diss track, he said, this shit here is an easy kill. 40 plus twisting their fingers still. Duck the Rico. We know that you squealed. FBI agent with a damn record deal. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Push. Let me plug my computer in first of all so we can continue the podcast tonight. Let's talk about it. Why do you care how he twists his fingers? Jim Jones would probably say, you see this? The middle finger. Fuck you. You can't twist your fingers like that. Try it. Go to the hoods and hang out. Twist your fingers like that or give some of the people the handshakes that you see Jim Jones giving. And you're going to end up on the news. Mr. I don't twist my fingers. I don't get it. What are you really saying? What are you telling me? Are you telling me you're not a gang member? Okay, cool. What else do I need to know about you? What are you saying? Because there's a lot of people who do twist their fingers up. Are you literally trying to diss a whole culture? Do you want everyone in them cliques dissing you now? I'm trying to help you out, man. I personally don't care. You know what I mean? I have no problem with anybody twisting their fingers any way that they like. Stuff like that doesn't bother me. I don't care about stuff like that. You can buy 3 Lobby Boy chains with VVS clarity. I don't care. But dudes like y'all, it just irks you and it irritates you. And then you make a diss song and drop a snippet, and then you'll probably do an animated video, and you because you guys are just so unique. But listen, man, Jim Jones beat Pusha T to the punch. But the point I'm making, this is a little stale. And using the right hand man, Cameron already came and called that out and knew that that was going to be the strongest diss point. So let's get into some more of the lyrics. Duck the Rico, we know that you squealed. FBI agent with a damn record deal. Red flag waving, banging boy chill. Jimmy hiding something, he got his record sealed. It sounds like somebody has been listening to Clubhouse rumors. Sounds like somebody's been listening to Clubhouse rumors. You're saying stuff that's not factually true here. Stuff that maybe you just assume. And now you're comparing him to other people and trying to make it funny. Like, oh, Troy Ave. Oh, 6ix9ine. You're trying to associate Jim Jones with super nerds. Now you're just trying to be funny. But the reason that you're comfortable enough to do that is because you're confident. You are very confident that Jim Jones is not going to slap the shit out of you when he sees you. That's why you're actually acting in such a way. The man asked you the question, where's your brother? And you're back to doing the raps. Jim Jones, obviously a bit more of a fan of clips than he is Pusha T. I'm just breaking down the bars, you guys. I'm just breaking down the raps, man. That's what I'm here for, man. Pusha T said, 6ix9ine isn't the only one working the field. We heard them phone taps, you Nicky Barnes for real. Stick to reality TV before I become your new damn Mendici. So, if you're saying someone is a snitch but can't prove it, it's not factual. Sure, it sounds good, but look, Tupac's diss was dope and it was true. Ice Cube, No Vaseline was true. Eazy-E, Compton City G's was true. Your diss, you can't prove. People are saying this is what they heard on Clubhouse. And what kind of outro from World Star did he put on this song? What outro? What old World Star controversial Cameron dissing Jim Jones clip did he put at the end of this joint? All right. So he said, you hated on French and did Max B greasy. Free the wave. You ain't been hot since the ballin' days. Now, this is why you should not insert yourself in things that you don't know about. Don't get into New York politics. One, nobody was hating on French Montana. You want to know how I know? Because in that whole situation, French Montana, he chose a side, Max B's side. What do you mean hating on? If French Montana was messing with Max B, there's nothing to hate on. It's called common sense. Why am I going to chill with this dude when he's chilling with my enemy? Let me ask you, what was he hating on French for? But yeah, but the joint about the cornrows, I'll give it to him. That shit was funny. Now let's talk about the Max B greasy line. Let me get your definition of greasy. Did Jim Jones tell Max B to do anything illegal? The man bailed him out of jail. I think he might have bailed him out twice. The man gave Max B an advance, gave him money, gave him Vance and leathers. And what did he get in exchange? And you're saying that Jim Jones did Max B dirty. How is bailing him out of jail dirty? How is him signing Max B dirty? How is the clothes that he gave him dirty? You know what I mean? You just got messed with and you messed your situation up. What was Jim Jones literally supposed to hold this man's hand through life? What was he supposed to take him to church with him? These are grown-ass men. Let's just be real about the situation, man. Max B got a couple record deals fresh out of jail. That doesn't happen for many. And bigger record deals than I've heard about some getting. So Cameron had posted up a few days before. He said, nah, Push. Me and Capo definitely don't be on the same page all the time, but I don't go against the family. Harlem, don't use no old problems we had to try and win a battle. I'm telling you guys, Pusha T's joint must have already been recorded because, yo, if you see Cameron coming out with a tweet like that or a post, you're going to delete that because it's going to make your shit look less than. Cameron honestly just really took him out with this one right there, you guys. Don't use no old problems we had to try to win the battle. Get in the booth. You nice, but Jim Jones got you on the ropes and you ain't rope-a-doping is what Cameron said. And I don't care if y'all put me in y'all bars. I quit. I do sports. Look at that. So guys, obviously before I even heard the response, I told y'all who he was siding with. So the joke is on who? Y'all don't get mad at me for asking the questions. People don't have to be in their feelings. That's just what I do here. I ask questions. I try to figure things out. So Pusha T had initially said, you run from the spirit of repossession. Too much enamel covers your necklace. I buy bitches, you buy them sections. You buy watches, I buy collections. First of all, Push, stop. Push, do me a favor. Don't use the word jewelry and enamel in the same sentence. Please, man. Read a book. Learn about precious metals. I mean, you sound smart to dumbasses. They're going to be like, you heard what he said. But anybody with a few brain cells is going to be like, hold up. Your bar doesn't make sense. What was your homie too embarrassed to like pull you to the side and tell you? Enamel. I don't know. I don't know what enamel. I don't know what that shit means. Come on, it's cool to be dumb. You make a diss song and you're using words that you don't even know what they mean. This guy is using words in the wrong context. Jewelry is a refined precious metal. Of course, there's a gloss enamel. Of course, there's a gloss enamel coating it. I gotta light up for this one. I'm smoking on some of that Khalifa shit tonight. Are we really doing this right now? Are we really doing this? Can you hit the like if you agree with me and what I'm saying? Every jewelry has enamel, period. Second of all, when you say the word enamel, when you say that word, I'm thinking more like, why did I just think of a dentist? This dude said enamel. When's the last time I went to the dentist? Come on, man. Think about it. Teeth, enamel. I mean, we can have an intellectual debate to discuss how jewelry has enamel if you'd like. You know, Hassan Campbell, his bronze jewelry, that has enamel too. Fake jewelry, that has enamel too. So, guys, let me just talk about this. Rappers, this is when it backfires. The perfect example is Pusha T using Cameron on his outro for the Jim Jones diss track. Cameron had literally just said, Jim Jones is dissing you better. He literally said, Jim Jones is dissing you better. The song had most likely already been recorded. So maybe Jim Jones was not bugging when he said Pusha T doesn't belong in the top 50. Maybe people now are like low key, okay, Jim Jones is better than Pusha T. This is how we're talking. Maybe now more people are like, okay, I got Jim Jones over Pusha T because there are a lot of people out there who I'm sure are changing their minds right about now. All I'm saying is everyone has a preference. There are some people who are going to be like, I knew Pusha T, but I didn't even know Jim Jones. And now Pusha T's whole audience is getting a crash course on who this fine gentleman is. Does this hurt Jim Jones? No, not at all. Does it help him? His promotion? Absolutely. Does this have Jim Jones' name in people's mouth? Yes. Does Cameron make Jim Jones look good? Yes. Why wouldn't he? That's his brother. Does Pusha T look like he made a half-ass attempt and maybe he should go maybe hide somewhere and get off the internet for a few weeks? My thing though, it's like Pusha T, if you're going to diss somebody, man. Don't use that whack 100 Jim Jones is a snitch tactic. And I just went off about the enamel jewelry line, man. Jim Jones has rocked some of the dopest jewelry in music history. I'm not even going to go much further with that. Pusha T said, misery's fueling your aggression. Jealousy turns into obsession. Reality TV is mud wrestling. Some sign checks I know better than. Yeah, Pusha T hit with some lines right there. You know what I mean? Pusha T said he's not the type of person that's going to sign off on every check that comes to him. You know what I mean? That's why there's probably a lot of people who are out there like, yo, when are we going to get the Clips reunion album? You know, Malice has gone on to do his own thing, and Pusha T has found success as a solo artist. Also, we saw Pusha T walk away from good music. Now, you could look at that one of many ways because good music didn't really get the footing that it really deserved. But I guess I gotta say, I just gotta say, the laugh from Jim Jones shows me that he's not really taking this thing serious at all. Like, why is Pusha T thinking about me on a runway? Why are all these dudes so infatuated with the lobby boys? What's going on? Everyone on the internet talking about Jim Jones, talking about Mano, Boxing Bar. Why is everyone hating on them about this 20-plus-year-old history? So Pusha had actually also said, "Beware of my name that there's delegate. You know where you're delicate. Crush you to pieces. I'll hum the breath of it. I will close your heaven for the hell of it. You think it'd be valor amongst veterans? I'm watching your fame escape relevance. We all in a room, but there's the elephant. You chasing a feature that's out your element." Pusha T and Jim Jones, man. This really has attracted a lot of attention because of the fact that it came together so quickly. This is one of them things where it's like, let me tune in and see what's happening. Pusha T dissed Jim Jones. Jim Jones responded. I actually really like the sport of it. I like what they're doing. But the one thing I don't like is the subliminal. I don't like the indirect. Is he talking about Jim Jones? Are you or are you not? Because that what makes me feel like it's gimmicky. Because it's like all he says is you didn't belong in the top 50. You know what I mean? There may be some people who watch this and they feel the same way. I don't feel that way. Pusha T is an artist that I think is dope. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is you can have your own preference. Some people will say Papoose is in my top 50. Papoose is nicer than Pusha T. And that's the beauty of it, you guys. That's what makes it great. Everyone can have their own view, but I'm not going to then diss you and say F you. If you say Papoose is better than Pusha T, mad people would agree. Maybe you would ruffle some feathers, and some people would say, what the hell are you even talking about? What's wrong with you? Things, what the F is wrong with you? Things like that. Top 50 lists are meant to be debated. They're meant to be controversial. The lists are never going to be mad accurate. I remember at one point, Jaquan, do you guys remember Jaquan? Jaquan was on a top 50 list at one time. It sells magazines. It gets people clicking on websites. It's good for controversy. But honestly, you guys, I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not losing sleep over a list that somebody made. And guys, I just want to say, by the way, the Choppy Chop Aki spot, I'm going to beat that into your head one more time. But guys, if you're in Virginia, don't worry about it. I make a toast with my jewels like Mazel Tov. That's a part where I just rewinded it and I was like, yo, this is where Jim Jones really kicks his verse into overdrive right there. I'm like, damn, Push. You hear Jones talking like that? The man said it on some boss shit. The man said, since you want to talk about enamel, listen to the man told you, man. You might have to play it back like 4 times. You might have to play that joint back like 4 times, Push. Never mind, man. Jim Jones is funny, low key. But you know what I mean? But in a damn, really, man, type of way. Why did you have to diss Pusha T like that? I like Pusha T. Jones, it's Pusha T. Because this could get dirty. You know what I mean? I haven't heard no shit in a minute like this. You know what I mean? From Jim Jones. You know what I mean? You don't want to wake up Jim Jones. The last person he dissed, what was it? Nas? and nobody dissed him since. People are like, he's dissing Nas? He's crazy. People couldn't comprehend it. And ever since then, people knew that Jim Jones was a nut job. But Pusha T, of course, you got to bark up this tree some 15 years later. I mean, Dipset broke up how long ago? Thanks for the update, Push. Cool outro. You're talking about Boxing Bar and Mano and him getting cut. You're talking about ancient shit, you know? You don't even have enough dirt to really do a whole Jim Jones diss song, from what it sounds like to me. Doesn't even sound like there's enough material for a whole diss song, to be 100% honest with you guys. I just had to hammer that choppy chop Aki spot into y'all's mind one more time so y'all go back and listen to that. You know, I'm not putting anything past Pusha T. You know what I mean? He tried to really come back, super violate Jim Jones with this brutal diss track. You know, that's what Pusha T is known for. Pusha T is known for this little thing, this little funny thing that they're trying to attach to Jim Jones' name. Pusha T is known for super violating some of the biggest stars in the game. And you heard Cameron thinking Jim Jones is winning the beef so far. How crazy is that? You don't even have enough dirt, like I said, to do a whole diss song on Jim Jones. He has no dirt on him. That's why he can't prove he's a rat. Oh, but he told him to super violate. Yo, you can't prove he's a rat. You can't prove it. I heard the tape, Mikey T. I heard the tape. He's saying super violate him, yo. So what? Did he get super violated? No, he didn't. So what is we even talking about? How is he a rat? He didn't even know he was being recorded. Y'all need to stop. You just need to stop. Whack 100 and dudes like Troy Ave, certain dudes you have to stop listening to, man. Tell them dudes, them dudes need to wake up, man. Certain dudes you just have to stop listening to, man. Listen to normal YouTubers like 10 Toes Down, Doggy Diamonds, people who are not fried. But yeah, man, that's what I had to come on here and say tonight. You know, this is a crazy back and forth that has popped off between Pusha T and Jim Jones. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next with it. Jim Jones's new joint, Pusha T's new joint was a little lackluster in my mind. It was a little lackluster because of the fact that he did what Cameron predicted he was going to do. Could take some open questions. Is there anybody that would want to tap in on the live and speak on this? Let me know in the chat. Oh shit, let me get this Khalifa lit back up. But yeah, man, I just wanted to go over these records tonight. A lot of people were discounting Jim Jones. A lot of people were discounting Jim Jones, you guys, but he really came back on this one, and I want to say he actually impressed a lot of people. Jim Jones came back and impressed a lot of people. And Pusha T actually had quite a bit of buzz a few years back when he was releasing the King Push album. But in all honesty, he kind of diminished his own buzz when he turned what was supposed to be the King Push album into a prelude. And then it's like, okay, you want to do a little setup album for King Push? I can understand that marketing. I can understand that build. But then after that, he just went left field and released an album called Daytona, and he really sidetracked, in my mind, a lot of his fans. Yeah, I saw the top. What was it? The top 50 list, or I think I might have only seen the top 20 of it. I think I saw G Unit at number 19. Is this the correct list, you guys, that I'm talking about? And G Unit as number 19. So that means G Unit is over Bone Thugs and Harmony, but in reality, G Unit has only had 2 albums, unless you want to consider, unless you actually want to consider all of the albums that were mixtapes, all the albums that were actually mixtapes. If you want to consider those, actually G Unit albums, I mean, then you could actually have more of a debate with Bone Thugs and G Unit, but Bone Thugs should be above G Unit on that list as well. I believe there were multiple albums where Bone Thugs had actually sold what G Unit did on their first album, first week. So Bone Thugs have had a good career. You know, they just got a little bit around the 2000s. They kind of got, there was just so much talent out there, I guess. Music was changing. They kind of got left out of the equation a little bit, just to be real. Migos number 11. Migos number 11. Why is Migos at number 11? Migos possibly is at number 11 because of the fact that their group was a little something different, you guys. The Migos group was a little something different because of the fact that they had become the number one sensation in the country as a group. Bone Thug interviews. Yeah, I was actually talking with Crazy about doing an interview, but I've done some work with Lazy over the years because my homie actually works with Lazy and Bone Thugs and all them, but I was actually speaking with Crazy because Crazy's always been my favorite from Bone Thugs. You know what I mean? Appreciate you for respecting the content. Geez, that's love. You know, woo! I hear what you're saying, man. That's why I'm saying Pusha T came in with the super violation. Everybody's thinking that I'm hating and shit like that, but I'm reading the lyrics. I'm giving my thoughts on it, man. I said it. Pusha T wants to put Jim Jones with the super nerds. He wants to put Jim Jones with the super nerds, you guys. Troy Ave and 6ix9ine. Yep, I can't believe it, man. He's really thinking he's gonna get put there with them chumps. It's just the obvious difference. You know what I mean? When you're looking at Jim Jones, this is the guy that held Dipset together. The guy, you could say whatever you want, but he's honestly the guy that is the glue for Dipset. You know what I mean? Joel Santana, the breakthrough star. Cameron, the leader. Jim Jones, the one who made it work. Otherwise, it would have just been a guy with his artist. Otherwise, it would have just been that whole regular setup. You know what I mean? Of a guy having an artist and shit like that. But Migos being at number 11, that's because of the fact that they actually became a sensation. Like there was one point in time where it was Young Thug was being groomed as the next Lil Wayne, but it was the Migos that actually kind of took that position in hip hop. So yeah, Migos were really a big thing. I see at the BET Awards that Quavo and Offset did some things together. That's great. You know what I mean? They're the guys who actually made Bad and Bougie. I think they need to realize that they can carry on this legacy. It only makes sense. Takeoff worked too hard to make sure that the group wasn't looked at as illegitimate. He put some legitimacy on that group, the way that he rapped, the way that he recorded hooks. You know what I mean? The way that he was so intricate about, the addition of boxing and the addition of football into his lyrics. The Migos were bigger than just rap. So Takeoff, he worked too hard for these two guys to let the Migos, like, oh, we can't do the Migos no more without Takeoff. No, Takeoff and Quavo were working their asses off when Offset was in jail. I witnessed it. You guys. I was out there in Miami when the Migos came out there. You can say whatever you want. I was around when Chief Keef and all them were treating the Migos like they weren't cool, and now they know the Migos are the coolest shit. But anyways, man. I just come on here to point shit out, man. Maybe there's some people. I'm from the tri-state. You know what I mean? So to see Jim Jones step up like this is dope. It really is. It's dope to see Jimmy step up and really show that he can stand and hold his weight with a rapper like Pusha T. Why do I say that? Because we've all kind of known Jim Jones for the anthems. You know what I mean? We've known him for the Dipset style anthems, Ballin', Pop Champagne. We've known him for these style of anthems. You know what I mean? The Summer in Miami tracks, these type of records. But the fact that he can stand this test with this rapper who made Drake shake, the fact that he can actually shake him up too, well, we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see what happens, man. I just wanted to come on here and talk about this tonight. I want everybody who's watching this video to follow me on Instagram, Mikey T _ the movie star. Whoever follows me based on this video is gonna get a follow back. Oh shit, that's what's up. Busta finally got his flowers back. Busta finally got his flowers I'm sure he's been on Drink Champs prior to that. Busta, I've met in person a couple different times. If you want to hear that story, you're gonna have to send a super chat for that one, man. That was a crazy story. But yeah, salute to Busta, salute to Tony Yayo. I just seen he was getting his flowers on Drink Champs as well. I'm looking forward to seeing his episode. Sosa put on for my town at the BET show. Yeah, man, Sosa got up there and performed a record that I want to say is probably, I guess it's got to be his third best record, Finito. If we're talking in the levels of success. But Chief Keef has one there, man. I really love that Finito record. And from what I saw, it was a dope award show. I love the fact that Math Hoffa got his chance to go out there and stand on the red carpet and interact with some of the different rappers. Just like last year, Gilly the Kid and Wallow got the opportunity to do it, man. I'm looking forward to my opportunity to go out there as well and interact with some of the artists that I've met over the years. But I'm going to jump up out of here for the night, you guys. I just wanted to come and talk about this joint, man, because, man, Pusha T was laying into Jim Jones, but honestly, I'm kind of in agreement with Cameron at this very moment, y'all. I honestly think that Jim Jones has Pusha T on the ropes. I think it's over. You know what I mean? The fact that Pusha T had to just release a verse and then a whole audio of Cameron, I'm going to have to say it's over, man. Wow. Cameron predicted that one, man. But I'll talk to y'all in the next episode, man. I'm out of here. Peace.